Zing, 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 zing. Zing.
Samulweni, and welcome to the Weekly What, a show that is the news with a twist. The twist being that it's barely news at all. I'm your host, Scott Never Dies Zulu. This week, we start with news from far, far away, overseas in Cape Town, where a disturbing video emerged of a naked man being manhandled by the police during an eviction.
His neck. Pegelan. Pegela. Vamos pegele. Wasali. Pegele. Hey, no.
Honestly, I've been pushing for the creators of this show to introduce a little nudity for a while now, but this is not how I thought it would come. We all agree that this is absolutely horrible. It's one thing to evict a person from their home, but let the man put on some pants first. News outlets reached out to Mayor of Cape Town for comment, and this shouldn't have been hard for Dan Plato. All he had to say were obvious things like, this was a horrible and unfortunate incident that should have never happened. Done. Finished. Klaar. Kaput. But instead, he tried to defend the officers, going as far as insinuating that the man was fully clothed before the video, that he later got naked as a defense tactic against the police.
Was picked up that he initially was not in the structure, and he was standing at the previous structure, moved into that structure, and when officers moved in, and when he stands in the doorway, and I do have the pictures right here in front of me, he had clothes on, and when the officers moved into the structure, he eventually did not have clothes on, and that prompted the officers.
What? I don't know if Dan has ever played rock, paper, scissors before, but gun beats penis every time. Every time. He also stated that this was a common occurrence in Cape Town, that this is how people protest. Really? Really, Cape Town? You don't have placards? You don't have cookies to make signs? Straight to dicks and titties, huh? Okay. In the same interview, he was asked about the sheer legality of this act at this particular time. During lockdown, isn't there a moratorium on evictions during lockdown, at least until level 2? How are people supposed to stay at home if they don't have homes to stay in? Or even worse, if their home is literally ripped from around them. This was an unspeakable act against human rights. But Dan Plato accuses the victim in this case of staging the whole thing as a means of political slander against his city. He says it was to make him look bad. Now, if this is true, Dan, you've made yourself look a lot worse than any naked protester ever could. To end this episode, we'd like to do something that we have not done in a while on the Weekly What. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have all added a few new words to our lexicon. Words we have now compiled for a segment we call the Random Top 5.
Scott, I said stop it.
Number 5. Social distancing. By far the best excuse we've ever had to bail out on Anele on games night. Sorry, man, I'd love to come to games night, but social. You sneaky Anele. Number 4. Antibodies. Honestly, I thought this was a term that you use to call a person who likes body shaming. Did you just call someone fat? You're such an antibody. Number 3. Hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine. A gift from God. Hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine. It would be a total game changer. Hydroxychloroquine. That's hydroxychloroquine. Big game changer. Hydroxychloroquine. I keep talking about hydroxychloroquine. The good news is we haven't heard anything bad. Hydroxychloroquine. I just hope that hydroxychloroquine wins. By the way, that would be a game changer. Absolute, total game changer. It will be Hydroxychloroquine. I don't know. It's looking like it's having some good results. The good news is we haven't heard anything bad. I just hope that
Hydroxychloroquine. Just try it. Ask your doctor if hydroxy is good for you. It probably isn't, and it doesn't cure corona. It's likely why your doctor has not prescribed it to you yet. Don't be an idiot. And as a rule of thumb, double check everything that you hear from the Oros man in a suit. Number 2, self-isolation. This one is one of my personal favorites because I feel like it's going to stand the test of time. We didn't use this term much in 2020 BC, but I feel like we are going to use it from now on. I mean, imagine you're chilling one night at Kitchener's by yourself having a drink, and then that girl, and if you've been watching the show, you know who that girl is, and that girl walks up to you and goes, "Ooh, puti, manje wena. Ooh, puti, manje wena wayenza self-isolation. Uphile life quarantine. Ayibo, sanitize uzojaya nabanye abantwana." Number 1. Now, I'm not even going to elaborate on this one because we found a clip on YouTube of a local comedian who explains it better than I ever could.
Quarantines. And I know there's a lot of people in here, never mind the fact that there's no people in here, but there's a lot of people out there who act like they've always known what quarantine means. They've always, I've always known what quarantine means. Lies, you never know what quarantine. I knew you in creche. Definitely in creche, you thought quarantine was a number. How many of you thought quarantine was a number? I can see a guy counting 16, 17, 18, quarantine, 20, quarantine 20. People are like, what happened to 19? It's like, no, 19 is in quarantine. Do you get it, sir? You don't. We can't all get these things. We really can't. Quarantine. 20.
And that's this week's What What with me, Scott Never Dies Zulu. And remember, give a man a fish, you will feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and you have given up every damn weekend of your life. Fusek! Ayini Kaizini, thanks for watching. Please push all the buttons, except dislike, maybe. For new episodes and updates, hit the subscribe and bell buttons. Thank you once again. Fusek!